If you look at the world of music as a whole, you're going to see many major stars from many different genres. But one that many fans have resonated with is the one and only Ariana Grande.
Just a reminder about our new giveaway. We're giving away the new iPad Pro or the new iMac Pro. The choice is yours. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.
Between her bubbly personality and her singing, she's become a big fan favorite. She's had hit tracks, major concert tours, and much more. But with all of that exposure also comes a bit of embarrassment over time. Allow us to show you some of these embarrassing moments. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 7. The Ellen Fall. 2018 was definitely one of the biggest years for Ariana Grande in terms of her music career, as she overcame many personal heartaches and issues that we'll be talking about later to make one of her best tracks ever in Thank You Next. Naturally, as it was a big song, she did a bunch of performances on other shows, including going to the Ellen Show to perform it. Given what was going on at the time in her life, Grande was very emotional as she sang the song. Some even felt she was going to have an emotional breakdown as she sang because it was clear the feelings were still raw inside her. During her routine, she stepped onto a chair to sing a section, and when she came down off of it, her boot got stuck, causing her to trip and nearly fall to the ground. Grande was so stunned that she stopped singing and spoke regularly because of the shock. Which, if we're being honest, just about any one of us would have done the same thing because falling hurts. Ironically enough, because of the slip-up, Ellen offered her a chance to redo the performance. But instead, Grande stated that she didn't mind the slip-up being visible because it made it more real, and that it did. Many praised her for this because while it was embarrassing, it showed her character and her desire to not be perfect on camera all the time. Many celebrities definitely can't say that. Number 6. Coachella Part 1. Many people don't appreciate all the technical aspects that go into making a concert work. It's not just setting up the stage for singers, it's making sure the lights, the microphones, and more are perfect for the singer so that they can do their song without issue. And when there is an issue, you notice. For this particular entry, we're talking about what happened to Ariana Grande and Nicki Minaj at Coachella 2019. The two were doing a duet when suddenly their earpieces went out. If you're confused as to why that was so bad, these particular earpieces were meant to filter out the sound of the open area so that they could hear the band and their own voices to know that they were on time and on key. Since they didn't work, both Grande and Minaj had no idea what was going on with the song and thus couldn't hear the cues to get them back on track. To their credit, they did try and keep going. Minaj continued with the song, while Grande tried to signal to the people in charge that they couldn't hear anything. Yet, when it was clear it wasn't going to work, she tried to help out Minaj with the vocals because she was seriously off beat. Because of this, the performance definitely wasn't as good as it could have been. And you honestly have to wonder if they should have just taken the embarrassment on the chin and just restarted the whole thing when everything was working, versus just making it worse. Number 5. Coachella Part 2, aka The Lemon. Yeah, Coachella apparently had some bad feelings about Grande because bad things kept happening to her. So during the event, Grande was coming out on stage when someone out of nowhere threw a lemon at her, and that lemon did hit the singer. Now, to her credit, Grande kept doing her thing on stage, so clearly it didn't hit her too hard. But she was momentarily stunned, and she did call out to the crowd what the person had done. After this was made known, the crowd turned in support of Grande, and when the news of this reached backstage, many other people, including fellow singers like Billie Eilish, sent out messages of support while also condemning the person who threw it. Which is good because honestly, this whole thing is wrong in various contexts. No one from the crowd should throw things onto the stage, even if it's just a lemon. And we still don't know why the lemon was thrown. Was it trying to say that Grande is a lemon in terms of her singing? Was it just what the person had on them? Did they really hate Grande? We don't know. The weirdest thing that came from all of this was that a conspiracy theory was born that the fan who threw the lemon did it in the name of Beyoncé, who was also at the show. When this reached her ears, Beyoncé denounced what happened and said that she supported Grande, which is good, but this incident as a whole was still very embarrassing. Number 4. Burn Baby Burn. Props to those who got the Disco Inferno reference. Now let's get back to Grande. Pyrotechnics on stage is something that a lot of people do. And though it's dangerous, it's usually very contained. Accidents can happen though, and it did almost happen to Grande one time. This was back in 2017 during her Dangerous Woman tour. And ironically, it was during the song Dangerous Woman. The performance had her wearing all black attire and also having fire come out of the stage, which on the surface is fine, but as to what almost happened, not so much. The opening bit featured Grande rising up from the floor, and she was to drag her mic stand along the floor to her next position, but the stand got stuck in the stage, so she tried to pull it away, yet she couldn't, so she had to focus and pull it out of where it got stuck. Why did this matter? The pyrotechnics were set to go off exactly where she was, so if she didn't get away, she would have literally been set on fire. The footage itself shows that she was seconds away from disaster, and though she kept the performance going, we're pretty sure her heart was beating really fast after that incident. Number 3. Shoe. Ariana Grande is like many other musical starlets in that she likes to wear various kinds of outfits, even if they're not the best for performing in a way. One time she came out and started to perform. She had a little too much pep in her step, and not only did she strut onto the stage, she literally kicked off her shoe into the crowd, which is not something you expect to happen to, well, anyone honestly. The crowd was very generous, and they gave her back the shoe, and she had to break character in order to thank the person who got her the shoe back, which we're sure made that person very happy. This is a lesson for anyone on stage. Make sure everything on you is fastened so that things like this don't happen. Number 2. Ow, I hurt my knee. Nowadays, singers aren't just singers, they're performers. They have to do all sorts of stuff while singing and keeping their balance in order to not hurt themselves, which obviously doesn't always work, as we all know singers who take a spill during routines, such as in Grande's honeymoon tour a few years back. She was performing her song Bang Bang on stage when she tripped on stage and smacked her knee. Thankfully, it didn't stop her from singing. In fact, she actually looked like she was going to burst out laughing because of the goof. There are many who have dissected what happened and how and why she fell on stage, but it honestly doesn't matter. She fell, it was embarrassing, she got back up and sang. Why? Because that's what performers do. Number 1. Ariana and her boyfriends. Outside of their careers, people like Grande have a microscope put over them for the relationships that they get into. And in truth, the various relationships of Ariana Grande are one of the focal points of her life in general, and not always in a good way. In total, she's had 4 big-name boyfriends since she got famous. 2 of them were short and weren't that mentioned. Mac Miller was a relationship that most fans know her for, as it was actually a long-lasting relationship going over 2 years. The two were clearly in love, and that's to be praised. But the problem here was that though they were there for each other during the worst moments of their lives,
he's the best.
They were also the cause of some of the worst moments of their lives. It was revealed that their relationship was toxic in the worst way, and that Grande was struggling to get away from him. Thankfully, she did break off the relationship, and she took a stand against those who condemned her for it. Sadly though, that wasn't the end of her bad relationships. You see, not long after her breakup with Mac Miller, she met a guy on Saturday Night Live named Pete Davidson.
Hey, Ariana, I overheard. Do you, want to smoke some pot or something?
Pot, let's smoke some crack, man.
I'm good.
Their relationship started out as just being friends, but then they cemented their love with tattoos and more, and they did it in record time. This drew the attention of many who thought that Grande was rushing into things after what happened with Miller, but Grande had none of it. In June of 2018, the two got engaged, which meant that they got engaged about a month after Grande had dumped Mac Miller and met Davidson. The twist comes in via Mac Miller passing away via overdose. The effect was large on Grande, so much so that Grande and Davidson called off their engagement and their relationship. It was after this that she made her song Thank You Next, arguably her biggest song ever. In it, she sang about her exes and what they taught her, but also noted that she was fine being single, which is to be praised. A relationship is never meant to be embarrassing, but given some of the guys she's dated and how she handled some of them, it is a little sad that she went so far with some of them and almost made terrible mistakes with others. But if she learned from it like her song stated, then she's a better person for it. So what did you think, everyone? What did you think of these times Ariana Grande really embarrassed herself? Can you believe it's happened to her that many times? Which of these do you think was the most embarrassing of the bunch? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Just a reminder about our new giveaway. We're giving away the new iPad Pro or the new iMac Pro. The choice is yours. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.